Hello everyone, I invite you to every Friday cryptocurrency review. Let's start by checking the current situation on BTC in the USDT pair, taking into account the 1-hour interval. First of all, we will use the yellow line to mark the local upward trend line from which the price broke down. As we can see, despite several attempts to return above this line, the price was rejected. Now we can move on to marking support areas in the event of a correction. And here, first of all, it is worth marking the support zone which stopped the current correction from $27,248 to $27,012. But when we fall below this zone, we may see a drop to around $26,710. And then a quick decline even to the support level at $25,846. Looking the other way, we can determine resistance locations in a similar way using the trend-based fib extension tool. First, we will mark the resistance zone from $27,776 to $28,152. When it is overcome, we have resistance at $28,458, and then a strong resistance zone from $28,762 to $29,195. Please pay attention to the CHOP index, which indicates that the energy is gaining more and more strength. The stock indicator shows a quick use of energy and then a sudden increase. But looking at the RSI index, we have not exceeded the lower limit, which may still affect the next correction attempt. As the second chart in today's review, we will check ETH in pair with USDT, also on the 1-hour time frame. Let's start, as in the case of BTC, by marking the local upward trend line from which the price came out lower. Now let's move on to marking the support places. We will use the fib retracement tool to mark supports, and as you can see, the price remains in a strong support zone from $1,635 to $1,603. But when we fall below this zone, we may see the price drop to the support level of $1,563. Looking the other way, we can similarly mark places where the price should encounter resistance on the way up. And here, on the upward path, there is a strong resistance zone from $1,661 to $1,679. Then we have resistance at $1,696. And then the second zone from $1,720 to $1,751. The CHOP index indicates that we have more and more accumulated energy. On the stock indicator, we are in the process of recovery, which is also confirmed by the RSI indicator, where we could see a quick withdrawal from the upper part of the range. Third, we will check the BNB in pair with USDT, also on a 4-hour time frame. Let's start by marking with a yellow line the local downward trend line from which the price came out on top. However, at this point you can see that despite the top leaving the downtrend line, the price is moving just above it in a downward movement. As we can also see, the attempt to return above EMA crossed 200 and, consequently, to a strong upward trend was unsuccessful and we quickly returned to the previous level. Now let's move on to marking the support places. We will use the fib retracement tool to mark supports, and as you can see, the price has returned to the strong support zone from $215 to $210. But if the current zone does not hold the price, we may see a drop to the strong support level of $203.40. Looking the other way, we can similarly mark places where the price should encounter resistance on the way up. And here, as the first resistance, we have a zone from $219 to $223, which rejected the price. Only after breaking it higher will we be able to see an attempt to attack the resistance levels at $228. And then another resistance at $234.90. The CHOP index indicates that the energy has been used and we are currently experiencing a slight increase. The stock indicator also shows a strong depletion of energy, which has slowed down the price declines. While the RSI shows a strong deviation to the lower part of the range, which creates a lot of room for increases, but before that we may still see an attempt to go down prices a little lower. The last one in today's list is the LTC to USDT chart on a 4-hour time frame. First, we will use the yellow line to mark the downward trend lines from which the price has gone up. While locally we can see that we are moving in a sideways trend channel. Moving forward, we can move on to marking support areas when we return to the correction. And here you can see that the lower border of the channel is also a support zone lasting from $63.28 to $61.97. But when we fall lower, we still have support at $60.10, and then support at $57.69. Looking the other way, we see that the price has reached an important resistance zone from $65.71 to $67.91, which it does not have the strength to break yet. However, if we manage to break out of this zone and the upper border of the channel, we still have strong resistance at $70.69. Please look at the CHOP index, which indicates that we have a lot of energy for the upcoming move. On the stock indicator, we are exceeding the upper limit, which may end the current upward movement and translate into a price recovery. While on the RSI indicator, there is still room for the price to grow. Technical analysis is provided by a third party, and for informational purposes only. It does not reflect the views of CryptoDaily, nor is it intended to be used as legal, tax, investment, or financial advice.